$500. That's what it costs to build an AI that beat GPT, Gemini, and Claude at a real job. Here's the exact recipe, and the catch nobody's mentioning.
अंदर आइए। रात को कोई भूखा हमारे द्वार से न
Scored the entire AI frontier and exactly what that means for your bill. This is Fermi Sense, an AI team that builds task-specific models for real workflows. In July, they published a case study a lot of frontier labs won't love, a small open model beating every closed model they tested. Here's the actual article, The Rise of Intelligence Ownership. The headline number, 87.3% accuracy against 76.9% for the best frontier setup they could configure. 87.3 against 76.9. On the frontier's own benchmark, the $500 model just won. These are the 5 models it went up against: GPT 5.5, GPT 5.6, Sol, Gemini 3.1 Pro, Claude Opus 4.8, and Claude Fable 5. Every one of them beaten. 5 different labs, 5 different training budgets in the billions, and none of it moved the needle here. This didn't stay theoretical for long. It hit Hacker News fast. 268 points, real developers picking it apart in real time. 13.5% better than the best frontier setup. 36% better than its own untrained self. Yes, on this one task, catalog review, checking product listings at scale, real money on the line for getting it wrong. And there's a genuine catch worth hearing. 9 billion parameters. That's it. Small enough to fit on 2 desktop-class GPUs, not a data center. Part 2. The recipe, the exact model, framework, and hardware that turned 9 billion parameters into a frontier beater.
महाराज मुझे स्मरण है।
And token context window stretching past 1 million. Nobody had to license anything to start this project. Anyone reading this could pull the exact same starting model right now. The whole training run used PrimeRL, an open-source framework, on 2 RTX Pro 6000 GPUs, workstation cards, not a rented supercomputer. 1,000 optimizer steps spread across 3.5 days. That's the entire infrastructure bill. Here's the framework itself, PrimeRL, on GitHub, free, documented, built for exactly this kind of run. No API key, no gatekeeper, just a repo you can clone tonight. By roughly step 250, about a day into training, it had already crossed every frontier score in the test. From there, every additional step just padded the lead. Run the same job 1,000 times, and the fine-tuned model costs 50 cents. The cheapest frontier option, Gemini 3.1 Pro, costs $19. The priciest, GPT 5.5 Pro, costs $172. That's not a rounding error. That's a different business model. Method to build R1 for fraction of what pre-training costs. The technique that made R1 possible is the same one this $500 project just reused. $300,000 or $500. Same reinforcement learning technique, 600 times smaller budget. The catch, because a $500 miracle deserves real scrutiny, not just applause. Hacker News didn't just cheer this. Read the replies, and you'll find real, technical pushback, starting with how this thing was actually scored, which matters more than the headline number. 3 real objections. 1. It's their own custom benchmark scored by their own function, not an independent test. 2. There's no mention of a holdout set, so nobody outside Fermi Sense can rule out overfitting. 3. That $500 figure is compute only. It doesn't count building the training data or the engineering time. Sort the claims into 2 piles. Confirmed. The accuracy numbers, the model, the framework, the hardware, all published, all checkable. Unconfirmed. Whether an independent benchmark would show the same gap. Treat this like a promising lead, not settled science, until someone replicates it. One commenter put it bluntly: they built their own benchmark, then trained straight at its scoring function. That's a fair hit, worth remembering before you copy this exactly. One task, not a general intelligence claim. Nobody's saying this beats GPT at everything, just at this one job. Generalizing that claim any further is exactly the leap this video is not making. Does it generalize to your use case? Nobody actually knows yet. That's the honest answer. The model, the framework, and the method are all public. The only way to find out if it works on your narrow, repetitive task is to actually run it. 0. That's how many independent replications of this exist right now. You be among the first. Confirmed: the cost, the models, the accuracy gap. Unconfirmed: an independent third-party benchmark. Unknown: whether this holds up on a task that isn't catalog review. 13.5%. Real on one real task, with real receipts and real open questions still sitting next to it. That gap is small, specific, and easy enough to go check yourself. The verdict, and what any of this actually means if you're the one paying the AI bill. For a narrow job, you do 1,000 times. Ownership wins by up to 340 times. Here's
व्यक्ति का कोई माप जाति से नहीं, धन से नहीं, केवल हृदय की सच्चाई।
is $5 in, $25 out per million tokens. That's the rent side of this math. 3.5 days, 2 GPUs, 1 public data set, 0 venture funding. That's the entire build, start to finish. Here's the actual do this recipe. Clone PrimeRL, it's free. Pick a small open model. Qwen 3.5-9b is a fine starting point. Build a few thousand labeled examples of your own narrow task. Rent 2 GPUs at $2 to $3 an hour. Budget about $500 in a long weekend. Know the difference before you spend the $500. So, the claim, $500, beating the frontier. The catch, a custom benchmark, no holdout set disclosed. The verdict, for the right narrow job, owning beats renting by a lot. At up to 340 times less per job, published and public. Want another small model humiliating a giant one? Days ago, we covered an 8 billion parameter model beating DeepSeek's 1.6 trillion parameter giant. Go watch that one next. If a $500 fine-tune just outpriced the entire AI frontier, subscribe back. I'll see you in the next one.